has often had the battle suffering new and won the battle. It's not only about him, there's another Ryan as well involved with the Edmonton Oilers. Who thought it's not only about him, there's another Ryan as well involved with the Edmonton Oilers. Who thought they're starting to cheer for them? They're not here yet. Who thought Ryan Smith was coming back? Put your hand up. I wasn't sure, but he's back as well. Yes! The Edmonton Oilers 2012 season.
It would have been like 20 years since the last Canadian Stanley Cup. The Edmonton Oilers Ryan Smith and the Irons are going to hop in. Finals. Fernando Fasani. Chris Ryan Jones.
As well, there's such a different look to the Edmonton Oilers 2011-2012 season. And the biggest look that what they do in the ice is Stanley Cup. In this game, there's lots of absolute faces.
To the Stanley Cup final for a matchup between the Philadelphia Flyers and your Edmonton Oilers. Starting goal with his second season, number 30. Nikolai Hemingway. Defenseman in his 5th season, number 14, Jordan Eberle. To his 2nd season, number 4, Taylor Hall. And for his 3rd season, number 94, Ryan Smith. And for his 7th season, for your Edmonton Oilers, and 2006 Western Conference champion, number 15, Chris Pare. And now for the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Flyers. Starting in goal for 2nd season, number 10, Jake Fortune. And look at the season, number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2012 Western Conference champion, Edmonton Oilers. For his first Stanley Cup final, at 18 years old, number 93, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. In his first season and first Stanley Cup final, number 89, Sam Gagner. And playing for his first season, number 19, Justin Schultz. and playing for his second season, number 15, Nick Schultz. And now, your captain, playing for the first time in Stanley Cup final history, number 10, Sean Horton. On May 31st, 1987, the Edmonton Oilers are Stanley Cup champions for the third time in franchise history. Game 7 was a rematch between the Philadelphia Flyers and your Edmonton Oilers. Oilers fans and hockey fans, Oilers fans want to present your honorary captains for these Stanley Cup champion 1987 Edmonton Oilers. Number 42, Paul Coffey. Number 56, Andy Moe. Number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Hockey fans, the Edmonton Oilers would like to celebrate 25 years of the Stanley Cup championship of the Philadelphia Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup final. Ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate 25 years, your 2012 Edmonton Oilers. Congratulations on the 1987 Cup Championship, Game 7 between the Philadelphia Flyers and your Edmonton Oilers. To join the 1987 Cup Championship, Flyers captain Jake Voracek and Edmonton Oilers captain Sean Horton for a Stanley Cup final ceremonial putt-off. Thank you, 1987 Edmonton Oilers and Stanley Cup champions, Wayne Gretzky. Coffey, and Glenn Anderson. Happy 25.
No item in D6 lighting.
Wins the Stanley Cup.
No item in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats. Celebrating the 1987 Cup champion. And welcome the anthem singer of the 2006 Stanley Cup final, Mr. Paul Laurie, as he performs the U.S. and the Canadian national anthem.
Yep. Right, buddy. Okay, scroll the... YouTube video.
What the proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ready glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of red Oh,
No item in D6 video player group.
our home and native land, through taken love, in all the sons of man.
Let me hear you.
YouTube video player group. No item in any level group. Nope.
Just listen to the crowd, the Oilers fans, just like 2006. And now, for the Stanley Cup final debut, here is Louis DeBrusk and Kevin Gibb.
No item in D6.
Back in the West,
Welcome to the 2012 Stanley Cup Final.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons. Welcome back, everyone. Let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons. Premium blend coffee. It's always 20 minutes fresh. With Nikolai Happy doing on the deck.
Two shutouts in the playoffs.
The Oilers' #1 goalie. He made his 26th start of the year tonight. 7 of 11 Oilers have come right here at Rexall Place. His 31-year-old Ilya Brizgara says he needs to find a peace in his soul in order to play in Philadelphia. He has 51 million reasons to find peace, but he's 43rd best in save percentage. The Flyers coming off a 5-4 overtime win against Winnipeg on Tuesday. The Oilers, of course, on Tuesday hammered the Calgary Flames by the score of 6-4.
Before he breaks the record.
Gene talked about it off the top. The lines have been all shook up since the last time this team played here at Rexall against Vancouver. Those are the same lines. That's when Vancouver gives a field 6 here in Game 6 of the Western Conference Final against the Predators. Did not find Max Stein. Eric Lowood is on that line. He did not flush in the game in Winnipeg, number 47. He is the brother of Kyle Lowood. And the Oilers will see on Monday when they travel to Winnipeg to take on the Jets. First win. A pass for Belonzi. Stanley Cup champions.
Here's Alexander with his Stanley Cup Final debut.
Giroux with 70 points on the season. He is tied for second in the NHL in points. Simmons has a knock-over his stick. Tonight's lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination.
Boston Pizza.
For their lineup for one game 6-1 Tuesday at Calgary. The Philadelphia Flyers have changed a couple of things. As you mentioned, Wellwood in, and also Jody Shelley will take the place of Zach Rinaldo on the fourth line right-hand side. So a couple little switch-ups for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. John Couturier is the guy that is also up in the press box. Couturier, an impressive rookie, tied for 8th among rookies in goals. He's got 10, but he sits, and that also talks to the depth of the Philadelphia Flyers team. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Ford. Drive one. Well, for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight, it's that quick reload, both offensively and defensively. Transition quickly to create opportunities, as we've seen already early on here. They can do, but defensively, they have to get on the defensive side of the puck to combat the speed of the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers is compete level. Ralph Krueger this morning talked about the fact everything stems from the compete level. When they bring it to the table early on, good things happen. On the face-off, Connor sends it around the boards. Yarmer Yager gets his first shift. It's been a while since he played here. And there was talk about him actually becoming a member of the Edmonton Oilers back in 2008. Flyers team. What's it? In the NHL in points.
Here is Sean Horkoff.
Horkoff, he's stick
With his first Stanley Cup championship.
brought to you by Boston Pizza, your
Here's Sean Horkoff. Horkoff centers it. Reaching with the first goal in the Stanley Cup Final. He scores! Sean Horkoff. He saved it.
No changes for their lineup that won that game 6-1 Tuesday in Calgary. The Philadelphia Flyers have changed a couple of things. As you mentioned, Wellwood in, and also Jody Shelley will take the place of Zach Rinaldo on the fourth line right-hand side. So a couple little switch-ups for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. John Couturier.
Scores! The first goal of the Stanley Cup Final for Sean Horkoff.
Ralph Krueger, the Spurs, as we've seen already early on here, they can do, but defensively, they have to get on the defensive side of the puck,
Defensive
to
side.
combat the speed of the Edmonton Oilers. The
What a
Edmonton Oilers is
pass.
compete level. Ralph Krueger this morning talked about the fact everything stems
His first goal of the Stanley Cup Final. And his second shot.
from the compete level when they break the compete level.
And what a turn up by the Edmonton Oilers. First Stanley Cup Final goal for Edmonton.
Well, Ralph Krueger this morning, Yarmer Yager gets his first shift. It's been a while since he played here. And there was talk about him actually becoming a member of the Edmonton Oilers back in 2008. Yeah, he talked about that. You know, one of the all-time greatest players ever to play the game right now, tied with Joe Sakic for 8 all-time points. And just a big smile there as he has a little laugh with one of the boys that he goes by with that big body he possesses. And I remember playing against him. He's so hard to hit there down low with that size and strength. When he stretches that puck right came against Winnipeg on Tuesday. Braden Coburn, Sean picked up for Voracek. Voracek centering pass. He was looking for Van Riemsdyk. And Riemsdyk missed 15 with a concussion. And he's got 11 goals on the season. He got an assist in Winnipeg. Here is Jordan Eberle. The postseason. With Ryan Smith and Sam Gagner. Whitney trying to keep him in at the point against Voracek.
Scored in the NHL.
A bouncing puck is picked up by Coburn. To an open wing it goes, and there is Van Riemsdyk into Schenn. His shot misses the target. It's picked up on the near side by Voracek. Darcy Voracek in his second straight game. As for Petrell, he tips it in. Petrell, Lander, and Voracek, the fourth line, getting his ship right now. Back to the point he comes. Gilbert is with Sutton. Sutton with a wrist shot through traffic. Fitzwalla made the save, but juggled it. Here's another one. This time it doesn't make it through off the stick of Andy Sutton. Voracek in the corner against Pavel Zabina. Zabina playing in his second game since arriving from the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it's games for draft picks.
Yeah, Albert Cabina this morning said that he hadn't skated in a few days before he got on the plane, headed to Philadelphia. Has played one game with Winnipeg on Tuesday night, so I'm sure as every game goes on for him, he says he'll start to feel it out and feel his legs, but looking for him to be that competitive. He's been for 14 years now, and he's struggling to help him out down the stretch.
It doesn't make it through off the stick of Andy Sutton. Voracek in the corner against Pavel Zabina. Zabina playing in his second game since arriving from the Tampa Bay.
And Ryan Smith, first Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, Albert this morning said that he hadn't skated in a few days before he got on the plane, headed to Philadelphia. Has played one game with Winnipeg on Tuesday night, so
scores! 18 goals in the playoffs! 2-0 Edmonton.
Well, it was a good night Tuesday for the Edmonton Oilers, and a long time coming as they've had difficulty with the Calgary Flames in the last couple of years, but a lot of firsts. Jordan Eberle with his 100th career point stands out. Taylor Hall this morning was telling me that he hasn't played well against the Flames, but finally got a couple points against them. Devin Dubik, Ryan Smith, and Ralph Kruger. Eberle with his 100th career point stands out. Taylor Hall this morning was telling me that he hasn't played well against the Flames, and finally got a couple points against them. Devin Dubik, head coach of the team.
Ryan Smith, 2 goals away from passing of the Philadelphia Flyers of 19 goals this season.
Just a little while ago, he can't keep that guy away from the ring. And they gave the puck to Ralph Kruger. The Flyers don't have a shot so far. They had 55 in that game against Winnipeg.
Last season, 55 shots. And for the Edmonton Oilers, they had 42 versus Calgary. So both these teams coming in here setting season high in shots. We're expecting to have that type of an affair. 3 for Edmonton so far. A little start here and nothing for the Philadelphia Flyers. The Edmonton Oilers have done a great job so far keeping the plays.
The Oilers by Ryan Smith.
Philadelphia. That was one of the keys to winning Tuesday night because they did that against the Flames. It's Ian Hall out there now.
Roseman takes Hall out of the play, and it comes to Wellwood. Wellwood gets the center, and he'll chip it in, but it's offside.
It's so important for the Oilers tonight against Philadelphia. We talked about the attack that Peter Laviolette implements in his system. Big defenseman. They get the puck up to the forwards very quickly. For Peter Laviolette, they want to take care of their own. They have to play their style of game, not really worry about the Edmonton Oilers, and that's the typical approach from coaches.
Gets the center, and he'll chip it in, but it's offside.
It's so important for the Oilers tonight against Philadelphia. We talked about the attack that Peter Laviolette implements in his system. Big defenseman. They get the puck up to the forwards very quickly. For Peter Laviolette, they want to take care of their own. They have to play their style of game, not really worry about the Edmonton Oilers, and that's the typical approach from coaches that come in and don't see teams very often. Take care of your own business. They want to take care of their own. They have to play their style of game, not really worry about the Edmonton Oilers, and that's the typical approach from coaches that come in and don't see teams very often. Take care of your own. And that's the typical approach from coaches that come in and don't see teams very often. Take care of your own business, and everything will work out. But for Edmonton tonight, watch that aggressive four-second in deep behind the big defenseman of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Martinez gets to it. Take the Kruger. Gives it away to Hall. Hall trying to get a shot away.
Shot away.
Comes to Hensky. Alex Hensky
Hall. Hall to Schmid.
2006 Stanley Cup finalist.
Ladislav Schmid tried to let it go right, but it left the end of his stick, long shot. And that's steered aside as Petrie let it go, but Hall tried to keep it in on the near side. Back the other way comes Hartnell. Quick pass to Simmons. And a penalty coming up. And it's going to be a hooking call in the first power play of this hockey game.
Power play
of to the Philadelphia Flyers.
Edmonton Oilers.
Looked like it was Clark Giroux that picked up the puck. As this goes over the line, it was on the back check. Sean Horcoff digging into Wayne Simmons, and right there the puck gets through, and it gets whistled down. So Simmons moving his feet, draws it into the middle zone. Sean Horcoff obviously doesn't like the call too much. Little ticky-tack, but the Philadelphia Flyers, who have a red-hot power play, get the first one tonight. 52 power play goals on the season for the Flyers. That is number 1 in the National Hockey League. They were 1 for 3 in that victory over Oilers.
Here in the Stanley Cup final.
They're currently ranked 5th in the league.
8 times in 6 years, the Stanley Cup final.
It dropped to 7th on
It's the hardest to beat.
Voracek sends that just wide. Back to the point it comes. Timo Keenan is waiting for it there. Now Voracek on the near side. He goes for the cross-side pass, looking for Scott Hartnell. And that puck plays out of play. Scott Hartnell with 14 power play goals this season. Number 1 in the league. Yeah, having a terrific year. 28 goals in the year. Half of them on the power play. And he uses that size effectively in front of the net. And maybe the best hair in the game. Looks a little bit like Wolverine when you see him in person. But I'll tell you, he's had a terrific year this year. All 3 players in that top line, Giroux, Simmons, and Hartnell on career high pace. Back to the point it goes. Voracek waiting for it there. A one defenseman, and it's this guy here. And that's Timo Keenan, who will give it to Voracek. Voracek takes it up, fires it towards the net. Big shot in front provided by Simmons, but Devin Dubnyk stands his ground, makes 2 saves, and hangs on to it. This is a good save by Devin Dubnyk here, just to stand his ground. He looked very poised in the rebound shot, and Simmons does a good job just to get in front of him. Watch him right in front of him, move the body. Dubnyk looks around him, gets down, knows he's tight to the post, and doesn't move. And the rebound is gobbled up by him. And when you look at the last 3 games of Hartnell, Simmons, and Giroux, the top line for Philadelphia is getting a check. Voracek takes a look, fires it towards the net. Big shot in front provided by Simmons, but Devin Dubnyk stands his ground, makes 2 saves, and hangs on to it. This is a good save by Devin Dubnyk here, just to stand his ground. He looked very poised.
Ryan Smith is excited to be back in the Oilers uniform. He's always been an Oiler, even though he left for a couple of years. But here he gets the puck, turns it over to the offensive zone. The wobbly one. This one gets away from him, but he had a little extra steam on this shot in his first game. You can tell when it came out, and emotion.
Top line for Philadelphia is getting down. See Wayne Simmons, but Devin Dubnyk stands his ground, makes 2 saves.
Take a look at the team lineup. Brought to you by Boston Helmet. Stand by. Larry's shuffling going on here at Denny Malkin. Reconstructed knee surgery last year. Took a puck off the ankle and will not play. He's obviously not in the game.
2 minutes per hundred.
Goes out for him. And also, Richard Hunt steps into the lineup in that top line for Malkin. So some changes there for Edmonton. Their first game, shuffling the blinds, trying to figure things out. Tom Rennie is. And there's an early penalty here for 2 minutes. There's going to be some of that confusion on the Oilers bench. The lines going over, trying to take that.
No item in the YouTube video player group. YouTube video player group.
Stopping him from getting his first 20-goal season of his career. Over a minute left of power play time. Voracek circles the net. Back to the point, even and hammers it, gets deflected by Hartnell, and again, Dubnyk makes the save. Voracek sets up shot, tried to thread it through Sutton, can't do it. He comes to Simmons, he lost it. And it's picked up there by Leonard Petrell. Petrell's got time, and he will send it down the ice.
You notice early on, the Flyers are always looking for that redirection in front, bodies in front of the goaltender, the tips in front. And every shot has a purpose on it from the blue line of the surrounding player. Voracek a couple times already has looked down to try and find Wayne Simmons close to the goaltender.
Big shot in front provided by Simmons. Dubnyk stands his ground, makes 2 saves, and hangs on to it.
This is a good save by Devin Dubnyk to preserve the 2-0 lead. Pick here just to stand his ground. He looked very poised in the rebound shot, and Simmons does a good job just to get in front of him. Watch him right in front of him, move the body. Dubnyk looks around him, gets down, knows he's tight to the post, and does. Right in front of him, move the body. Dubnyk looks around him, gets down, knows he's tight to the post, and doesn't move. And the rebound.
With 23 seconds left to go, and the penalty to the captain, Sean Horcoff. And Briere flips it in. Up there, Rich Jogger, and then Riemsdyk.
Smith. Eric Belanger. Belanger just got enough of it to get it out to center. Cavina. Oh, you talked about him being the only right-handed shot on the blue line for the Philadelphia Flyers. We'll see if they use that. And Yager played in World Championships before. It's Yager that's feeding him the puck.
Yeah, hard a shot in the back end for sure. So Brady Green and Jeff Campbell on that trade from Tampa Bay.
More top out of the penalty box. And they're trying to settle it. Petrie down low. And picked up there by Carl. Carl tied for 12th among defensemen in assists. He's got 26 on the season.
And I guarantee he's the only Philadelphia Flyers who's ever caught a live alligator in Hamilton.
That's so good. He was telling us this morning. He said it was your idea.
Yeah, it was my idea. He wanted to use my topwater bait. They said, let's use a worm instead.
Brady's going after it against Whitney. Pokes it to Shen. Brady Shen throws it towards the net. A weak shot steered aside. Reed. Talbot. To the point it goes. Kept in by Grossman. Grossman and Mazzaro's on the blue line. Opportunity for Talbot right in front. A bouncing puck is picked up. And Everly trying to get it out but can't do it. The Flyers keeping the pressure on. And it's Matt Reed in the corner. Deals with Potter. Whitney on Crowder. Separates him from the puck. And Whitney starts out. Quick pass to Hall. Hall at center is going to fire it in. And then he's going to head off. Just over 12 minutes to go here in the first period. This is the only meeting of the season between the Flyers and the Oilers.
See how dangerous Philadelphia can be early on the forecheck. Get that first pass. Here in Rexall. 3 players sometimes. So for Edmonton, quick ups, pass now.
And Stellis Oilers hockey right here. Let's
pass now.
And Stellis Oilers hockey
Stanley Cup final.
Well, both from a team standpoint and a personal standpoint, Ralph Kruger was elated with the result in Calgary. And the first person to call him, actually text him, and then tell him to call him, was head coach Tom Reddy, to congratulate him on what Ryan Whitney eventually presented to Ralph Kruger in the Calgary Flames visiting dressing room. And that was the puck from the first win on the part of Ralph Kruger. His 0 in the win column, thanks to the game against Calgary, went up in flames.
Gene, how do you get that puck? Ralph Kruger, what? A secret memento, and gives it to Gene.
How did he get those things?
Hornacek and Shelley. Hornacek dropped the gloves.
How did he get those things?
Hornacek and Shelley. Hornacek dropped the gloves.
Hornacek.
Hornacek shoots.
Scores! Darcy Hornacek. Second playoff goal. And it's 3-0. Oilers! I'll tell you, Darcy Hornacek wanted him down off the face-off. Jody Shelley was trying to get himself into the shift first, and then Hornacek finally just said, let's get this over with. Both these guys have fought each other before, and man, swing. Hornacek with the left hand. And does some damage to Jody Shelley. Now he'll go uppercut. There's the Hornacek. It was a review. Does some damage to Jody Shelley. Now he'll go uppercut. Shelley trying to recover. Hornacek did a great job. He ends up underneath him, but he wins the TKO. Great job. He ends up underneath him, but he wins the TKO. As he takes down the veteran Jody uppercut. Shelley trying to recover. Hornacek did a great job. He ends up underneath him, but he wins the TKO. And then with the first fight of the Stanley Cup final, 2006, was right to the Edmonton Oilers. He takes the first fight of the playoffs in the Stanley Cup final. And wow, Louis, his fourth fight of the season, first fight for Darcy Hornacek. His fourth fight of the season for Darcy Hornacek. Give him 5, 2, or 3. Was it good? There was goal interference prior to the goal. These guys, the Darcy Hornacek, give him 5. Well, for both of these guys, they've been able to line up a lot as of late. The last 10 for Jody Shelley, and for Darcy Hornacek, been able to line up a lot as of late. The last 10 for Jody Shelley, and recover. Hornacek did a great job. He ends up underneath him, but he wins the first fight. He takes featuring Jody Shelley for Shelley, his 4th fight of the season. For Darcy Hordichuk, give him 5. Well, for both of these guys, they've been overrunning up a lot as of late. The last 10 for Jody Shelley, and for Darcy Hordichuk, Garland played 7 minutes Tuesday versus the Calgary Flames, was out the previous 9 games. So he knew that when these two guys faced off against each other, they had a little conversation. They've seen each other many times before over their career. Two of the more active guys in the pugilistic department of the NHL squad. That's another great one there. They both went at it. Darcy Hordichuk gets the extra 2 minutes for roughing. That's another great one there. They both went at it. Darcy Hordichuk gets the extra.
Let's go to the goal.
2 minutes for roughing.
Get your game on with Sports Select.
So when the dust settles, the Philadelphia Flyers will get the power play. I think it's going to be an instigation for Darcy Hordichuk because he was the one that really initiated it, went after Jody Shelley. He wasn't taking no for an answer. And, you know, for Jody Shelley, he just bided his time, waited it out, and eventually Hordichuk said, you know what, I'm going to throw down first here. I've already invited you to the dance. If you don't want to, too bad. We're going. So Jody Shelley didn't play in the last game in Winnipeg, and Darcy Hordichuk has spent a lot of time in the press box. He played 7 minutes and 19 seconds in the game in Calgary. And Rob Fraser telling us about why he is in the lineup. Ryan Jones is out, and it's maybe part of that energy that he brings on that 4th line. But right now, Kelly Jones for the Oilers go to work for the 2nd time in this game. Philadelphia got 4 shots the last time. They got the man advantage. They have this in this series. Here's Hordichuk again. They'll play it back to the point. You know, Steven with a wrist shot through traffic. Here's a combination. And quick shot by Hartnell. Stopped by Goodman. Hordichuk looking across. Broken up there by Ryan Smith. Hordichuk's got it again. They'll give it to Steven. Giroux takes a look. And Giroux being walked through by Petrie gets it back to Steven. Steps into a shot and was blocked. That is stick of Ryan Smith. Back into his own zone. The Philadelphia Flyers with 4 power play goals in their last 3 games. Steven leads the charge. Just a minute to go in this power play. Briere brings it across the line. And Riza lays it back to Kabina at the point. Yager out there as well. He lands the near side. He's got the puck now. Back to the point. There's Kabina's shot. Stopped by Goodman. Yager and Kabina have combined before, playing for the Czech Republic. Kabina with it now. Kabina trying to get it to Yager. Andy Sutton. Good play for Sutton to get it to Petrell. Petrell and Belanger up front. And Petrell able to work that puck out. Yager with it now. Picked up by Reed. Reed cross ice. And Riesdijk stepping into a shot for Briere, and he fired that puck wide.
I think he was looking for Yager going to the net there.
Slap pass. Kabina's got it now. Kabina down deep for Briere, trying to feed it back to the point. Burkhoff broke that up. Here's Van Riesdijk. He gets knocked down by Gilbert. And the Oilers send the puck down the ice.
Aggressive penalty coming by Edmonton, not allowing a whole lot to set up shot. Once it gets close to the net, staying compact, getting it to the outside. And not too many good chances so far in the second power play for the Philadelphia Flyers.
And that power play is over. The teams are at even strength. End shot, and there's a glove save by Dubnik. And he is going to hang on to it. Tell us, Oilers hockey from Rizzo Playoffs. We'll be back on that race.
Well, 28 goals in a trip to the All-Star game has certainly garnered a lot of interest this season on the part of Scott Hartnell, but his game at times is secondary when it comes to the interest that is a result of his hair, which was featured among other players, including Ryan Jones, when it comes to which player is most in need of a haircut, and it was Hartnell that won by 12 percentage points over Ryan Jones. When it comes to haircuts, it appears that these two are literally on the same page.
Sports Illustrated seems to love to do those player polls.
It looks like Red Foo from LMFAO.
A little bit. 9 shots for the Flyers. 7 of them have come on 2 power plays. 2 power plays, 3 shots. But Louis, the last 3 games we have done here at Rexall Place, it has been starts that have really bothered the Edmonton Oilers. And now some pushing and shoving as Coburn and Whitney have exchanged some words. Pino.
Time now for the TELUS Optic TV Power Poll as the trade deadline gets closer. Are the Oilers buyers, sellers, or should they stay put? To enter, text your vote buy, sell, or stay to 333-777. One of the entries has a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game, and we will update the poll results later in period number 3.
All right, Gino, back to the point, Louis, about the starts for the Oilers. A better start here tonight at home, and they're taking a page out of that game in Calgary.
Yeah, for sure, and that's one of the areas that they definitely wanted to shore up from the previous 3 losses where their starts hadn't been great. And they're playing from behind the 8 ball. I think in the last 5 games or 6 games now, they didn't score against the Calgary Flames on Tuesday night. But for Ralph Kruger, the thing he liked about it was that they didn't sit back and say, okay, here we go again. They weren't deflated. They kept going. 17 shots in the first period, 17 shots in the second period. They got the puck to the net, and they continued to attack. So tonight, down 9-3 in the shot clock with 2 power plays going to the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm sure they're going to continue to try and battle themselves back into this one and generate more offensive chances.
The 7th time that the Oilers have won a game when the opposition has scored first. And the largest margin of victory
124 minutes
against the Flames in Calgary since 1996.
Straight. Would they shut
it in behind the net? The Cardinal sends it around the boards. A bouncing puck comes to Pizarro's. He lets it go, and there, way in front of the net was Hartnell. But again, denied by Dubin. 10 shots now for the Flyers. Pizarro's. His pass tipped by Hall to Simmons. They'll send it in deep. Tom Gilbert looks for it, and Tom Gilbert averaging just over 23 minutes as he works his way back from that ankle problem. Magnus Pare flying out there with Ben Eager and Eric Belanger. Belanger got a goal in that game against Calgary, and you talk about monkeys coming off the back for Brian Smith. Belanger, again, another guy who is struggling.
Ready to sell? RE/MAX agents have the experience to get the job done in today's market. Visit remax.ca today.
For Eric Belanger, his first point in the month of February. Here's Eager and Pare. Eager and Pare stay up there. Whitney and Potter on the blue line.
Oilers will play game 2.
Belanger lining up against Daniel Briere. And wins that draw cleanly back to Whitney at the point. Whitney throws it towards the net. Oh, the hit off the glove of Brisgala. Pare behind the net. Magnus Pare trying to get away from Braden Coburn. Trying to work it back to Whitney. It was picked off there by Yager. He'll get it to Reed. Matt Reed moving in with Briere and Yager. To the corner it goes. Now it's picked up by Sutton. Lost it to Reed. He'll play it to the other side, but waiting for it there is Ryan Whitney. Whitney, after Belanger didn't work, Yager broke that up. Now Piarvi's got it. An opportunity to get it out for Eager, and it was broken up right at the last second by Matt Carl. Reed brings it in, pays the flight, and he gets a Potter now. Yager shot. Sent to the corner. Another shot by Reed. That one goes wide. This line putting out some pressure. Yager sitting at the side of the net. Right by Savina takes a hit from Eager. Yager keeps it in. Aaron Yager spins to get away from Ben Eager. To the middle it goes. Kept in by the Flyers. Savina to Carl. Savina steps into a slap shot deflected. That may have caught it outside of the post. Reed with it now. Reed behind the net looking for Danny Briere. Belanger, Pare, and Eager have been out there a long time, and Devin Dubnyk gives them an opportunity to change.
Time to play Safeways.
But not.
No argument.
Once more. Third line.
Smith. He gets checked by Voracek. Another turnover. Van Riemsdyk with a wrist shot and a save by Dubnyk. Smith will get another opportunity, and he does get it to Gagne now. Here comes Sam Gagne to Smith. Steps into a slap shot. Pad save. Big rebound. And it comes to Braden Shen. Shen
Outlet, Lazzaros. Swings it to the corner, Voracek. And Gilbert battles for that loose puck. Ryan Smith, Jordan Eberle. They play give and go, and Randy Sutton will pick it up at center. He just wants to backhand it in. He bounces it right onto Brizgalov.
Really, Brizgalov hasn't faced a whole lot in this game so far. Only 5 shots on net. That is a 6-1 there, the hopper. But he hasn't controlled them yet.
Orkov got spun around, but Hall carries on. Hall with speed with a wrist shot, and that gets deflected up into the netting. No score here at Rexall. Gets deflected up into the netting. No score here at Rexall.
The Stanley Cup final.
Right on the net.
Ryan Smith certainly enjoyed his 36th birthday, which came on Tuesdays. He had a goal and an assist in a win over Calgary, but his favorite birthday came courtesy of his wife, Stacy, sitting here with their son, Alexander. When Ryan turned 30, somehow they snuck the entire team and many of his friends and family into the Lux Steakhouse and Bar, and they had a great time. The restaurant was filled with the people closest to him, and that surprise party, he said, even beats his 36th birthday party, considering the name of the restaurant which he owns. No surprise he got the deluxe treatment.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, kind of nice on your birthday to get a goal and assist. Against the Battle of Alberta.
The Battle of Alberta.
And a 6-1 win.
Oilers fans on their birthday.
Riding a 3-game losing streak here at Rexall Place.
He tried to tell us he wasn't superstitious this morning. And I said, you asked him, do you change anything up? He goes, no, I do the same thing every day.
Very superstitious.
Not superstitious.
No.
Every hockey player is superstitious.
Yeah. He said he doesn't take a different route when he struggles. He's got to take the same route.
You know what? For Brian Smith, he's been honest about it. He hasn't really had a great stretch as of late. 3 points in his last 2, but no goals in his previous 11. Got a goal on Tuesday night, and he looked up to the sky and said, you know what? No long time coming. Wants to continue that success.
And he put the monkey on his back a little for Willow.
Yep. Getting a little heavy up there.
Mark Belanger back to pick it up. He's got 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go in this first period. The Flyers have doubled up on the Oilers in terms of shots. 12-6. 7 of those have come on the 2 power plays that they've had. Long shot by Wellwood. Bad save by Gooden. Eric Wellwood. It's checked by Belanger. Belanger goes down heavily. Wellwood's with the puck. He'll send it around the near side. And waiting for it there is Andre Lazzaros. Lazzaros throws it towards the net. Shelley deflected it into the corner. Corey Potter's got it. Potter. Soft little pass for Belanger. Hopped over his stick and it's shot right back in by Grossman. Albert trying to center it. Can't do it. Van Riemsdyk behind the net. Potter's got it now. Hops over the stick of Piarvi. Right to Grossman. He'll keep it in. Now Piarvi another opportunity. But again, the Flyers keep control. It comes back to the point. Lazzaros will give that puck to Voracek. And then it gets deflected off Whitney's stick right into the netting. To Voracek. And then it gets deflected off Whitney's stick right into the netting.
Well, Kevin, because that groin strain to Nikolai Habibulian-Yanzadi has been called up to the Oklahoma City team down from the American Hockey League. He's having a terrific year down there. 21-10-1 record. He's first in goals against average and tied for second in save percentage of 5 shutouts, and that's why they lead the Western Conference. When you look back on Hobey Baker, 5 shutouts, and that's why they lead the Western Conference. When you look back on Hobey Baker, runner-up back in 2004, playing for Brown University. So, biding his time. Waiting to see if he might be able to get in there, but Nikolai Habibulian seems to be day-to-day there. Oklahoma City.
Oh, Kevin. Oh, it comes back to the point. Lazzaros.
Here is Alexander.
We'll give that puck to Voracek. And then it gets deflected off Whitney's stick. Right into the...
Alexander. What a goal.
Well, Kevin, because of that groin strain to Nikolai Habibulian-Yanzadi has been called up to the Oklahoma City team down from the American Hockey League. He's having a terrific year down there. 21-10-1 record. He's first in goals against average and tied for second in save percentage of 5 shutouts, and that's why they lead the Western Conference. If you look back on Hobey Baker, runner-up back in 2004, playing for Brown University. So, back into the net.
And then he gets deflected off Whitney's stick right into the net.
He scores. 3-1 Flyers. 7-second after that goal. It was
and then he gets the
Couturier, his first of the final.
Off Whitney's stick right into the net.
Well, Kevin, because of that groin strain to Nikolai Habibulian, the knee has been called up for the Oklahoma City team down from the American Hockey League. He's having a terrific year down there. 21-10-1 record. He's first in goals against average and tied for second in save percentage with 5 shutouts, and that's why they lead the Western Conference. If you look back, the Hobie Baker runner-up back in 2004, playing for Brown University. So, biding his time. Waiting to see if he might be able to get in there, but Nikolai Habibulian seems to be day-to-day, so I'm not too sure how long he'll be up, but he's going to take this advantage and enjoy his time with Edmonton.
His last game in the NHL was March of 2010. He was 3-2-1 for New Jersey in the 09-10 season. He's not played in the Western Conference all his time in the East.
Yeah, 49 career games in the National Hockey League with the Montreal Canadiens, New York Islanders, and New Jersey Devils, so a little bit of experience there. They really like the way he's played down there. Why wouldn't he?
Yager trying to muscle his way in against Ladislav Schmid. Schmid would have been a guy that grew up idolizing Jaromir Yager like a lot of the Czechs did, but not tonight. Gagne, Petrie swings it across forever. Jordan Everly back to the point. Tom Gilbert with a wrist shot. Doesn't make it through. Reed knocked it down. And then Everly quickly coming back. Trying to break up the play. He's carrying on into the ship. His line mates have changed up. Everly will flip it in. He's going to head off. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in his first period. Shen gave it away to Hall. Hall way out in front. Great save by this guy. As he absolutely robbed Alashensky.
Best chance of the game for Edmonton. What's been a little bit of a sloppy first period for them. They're not making tape-to-tape passes. They're not getting shots through. And just some real hard work down the corner from Taylor Hall. Finds Hemsky in the slot. He gets it away quick. Great save by Ilya Bryzgalov, who hasn't seen a whole lot of difficult shots. He's had trouble with a few of them. He's bobbled a couple pucks, but this one here, rock solid and no rebound to be up first.
Alashensky. Way out in front. Great save by Bryzgalov. Great save. It's 3-2 for the Flyers.
It's been a little bit of a sloppy first period for them. They're not making tape-to-tape passes. They're not
second goal tonight.
Getting shots through. And just some sloppy first period for them. They're not making tape-to-tape passes. They're not getting shots through. And just some real hard work down the corner from Taylor Hall. Finds Hemsky in the slot, and he gets it away quick. Great save by Ilya Bryzgalov, who hasn't seen a whole lot of difficult shots. He's had trouble with a few of them. He's bobbled a couple pucks, but this one here, rock solid, and no rebound to be had.
Belange wins that draw. Back to Biarby. Biarby puts it towards the net. Kavina. On the boards it goes. Voracek plays it to the middle, and the Flyers start away. And Riensdijk chips it in against Tom Gilbert. Goes right after it. Just later on the near side. Waiting for it there is Voracek. Voracek. And Riensdijk and Shen, the forward line now for the Philadelphia Flyers. Voracek behind the net. Back at Voracek. Lays it to Kobina. Fires a shot. That gets the puck to just wide. As Van Riensdijk and Gilbert were in front. It went off Gilbert and went wide. Sutton takes a look. Gets to the red line. He'll dump it in. Biarby using that speed. Gets there ahead of Mazaros. Now back to Potter. Hammers the shot. And Bryzgalov got the stick in front of it and sent it up into the mesh.
Good job to jump into the play here for Corey Potter and get that shot away. He possesses a great one-timer, and it's always a great option for a player into the offensive zone to look back, see the defenseman jump up into the rush, and be there for the shot. Here it is here, and it just kind of develops. He gets it away. Great job by Bryzgalov through Taylor once again to get down and make that save, deflected up over the glass. Here for Corey.
And sent it. Now back to Potter. Hammers the shot, and Bryzgalov got the stick and sent it into the net.
Corey Potter ties the game at 3. And the Flyers, 3 goals in 3 minutes.
Good job to jump into the play here for Corey Potter and get that shot away. He possesses a great one-timer, and it's always a great option for a player
into the offensive zone to look back, see the defenseman jump up into the rush and be there for the shot. Here it is here, and it just kind of develops. He gets it away. Great job by Brzgalov through Taylor once again to get down and make that save, deflected up over the glass.
Corey Potter missed 3 with that loincloth.
Great one-time.
Brzgalov got the stick and speed, gets there ahead of Mazzaros. Now back to Potter. Hammers the shot. Brzgalov got the stick in front of it. And there.
That was a 4-3 goal. The Flyers come back in the first period. And it was
Tinted up
Simmons in the first period.
To the net.
Good job to jump into the play here for Corey Potter and get that shot away. He possesses a great one-timer, and it's always a great option for a player into the offensive zone to look back, see the defenseman jump up into the rush and be there for the shot. Here it is here, and it just kind of develops. He gets it away. Great job by Brzgalov through Taylor once again to get down and make.
Alex Hemsky dance in against Claude Giroux. Giroux, right up the middle it goes to Hart. Simmons carrying on, but a good stick there by Steve, preventing him from getting anything done. Ball back the other way. Less than a minute to go in the period. John Horkoff takes a bump there from Mazzaros. Hemsky behind the net. Hemsky against Grossman. Sheen steps into a quick shot. Traffic in front provided by the captain. Brzgalov steers it aside. Hall will give it to Sheen one more time. Pass to Hartford. And the Oilers will have to regroup.
He's in Dallas and was drafted. He has
The big Dallas Stars.
Yeah, playing parts of the last 5 years in Dallas and was drafted originally by that team, and this is only his second team ever playing for. So he said there was be a little bit of an adjustment coming over to East, but he was excited to come to a team that's playing as well as Philadelphia has. And yeah, he said, I've seen these teams a lot here in this Western Road Swing, so I'll be giving a lot of advice in the dressing room.
They'll be in Calgary on Saturday and into San Jose on Tuesday.
No joke, he kind of looks like Matthias Nordstrom.
He
with that
does.
shaved head, you know, and he has the same size. He's a huge guy.
He and Kubina sit beside each other in the dressing room. I think the room tilts.
Back in the day, you know, when you had Jeff Bukaboom and Luke Richardson and a couple guys like that, defense, we used to call them the Twin Towers, but those two guys give a whole new meaning to both big individuals.
The first period comes to an end, and it's scoreless first period. Flyers goal shoot the 14-9, but now right at the Flyers here in the Stanley Cup Finals. Shelley bumps out Sheffield.
Flyers lead the NHL with 52 goals in the postseason.
9, but
And the
now
Edmonton Oilers, by the way,
right at the buzzer, Shelley bumps in
goals
to Corey Potter, and the doors were coming open to let the Flyers off.
He's like, hey, wait a second. You got to go out over there by your bench. We go out here. But Jody Shelley again getting involved. Got a little nip, a little scarred up on the nose. Always one to have a little conversation on the ice. Gives Corey Potter a hard time behind the net. So things heating up here late at the end of this first.
A busy night in the National Hockey League, and the guys with Hockey Central will get you caught up with all the action. Hockey League and the guys with Hockey Central.
Fans of Oilers hockey, fans at home over the last few weeks, there was the 2 games against Toronto that were absolutely fire wagon hockey. Huge number of chances at both ends of the rink. And then you saw them in Calgary, the Edmonton Oilers, 2 nights ago, where the Oilers played some premium in hockey, but they did not give up the chances. They played a much more structured game. I talked to several players this morning about how do you continue to get the offensive chances, but have the structure so the other team doesn't get so many. And tonight, Philly had the puck a lot of the night, but we didn't have to see a bunch of 10-bell saves by Devin Dubnyk, Gene. It was structured hockey, not a lot of rebounds, and you'll see here a goalie that had to do his work, but he didn't have to be a hero to get through that period.
When you look at Devin Dubnyk and what he's been able to do is he looks to solidify himself in the number 1 spot on the part of the Edmonton Oilers in net. He's doing his part at one end of the ice. And the Oilers also expecting some offense to come from the other end of the ice. And over the last few games, Devin Dubnyk, Nikolai Habibu, and all of the Edmonton Oilers have seen a nice synergy, I believe they call it, between a couple of H's.
Well, it's true. And, you know, we talk, everyone in town is talking about Alex Hemsky, whether or not he'll remain in Edmonton Oilers. And in the first period, you saw a very compelling reason why Steve Tambellini's looking down thinking, maybe I should try to keep this guy. Elish gives you, he's not a centerman, but he gives you that setup man as well as the guy that could finish a bit. On this line, Horkoff does the corner work. Hall makes a nice pass out. Hemsky's the finisher, doesn't quite get it in the net, but There's a real good element of having two excellent offensive lines here. Alex Hemsky's a linchpin for that. That's what's going on in Steve Cavallini's mind right now, Gene. Does he stay or does he go?
All right, Mark, thank you for that. From two H's to a couple of guys whose names are, well, their last names are DQ. DeBruskin, one of my favorite wrestlers.
First period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord, now hiring trades in oil country.
The most scoring in that first period, as Mark Spector said, 14 shots for the Flyers and 9 for the Oilers. So they did dictate a lot of the play. In the latter half of it, though, Edmonton started to generate some chances, getting pucks deep, and killed off 2 power plays for the boot for one of the hottest power play units in the National Hockey. Brizgalov didn't face a whole lot, but at the end had to make a couple solid saves to keep it a 0-0 game.
R.A. Statsman falls in dangerously.
A couple solid saves to keep it a 0-0 game.
R.A.
2 goals, 2 assists, and a 4-2
Statsman
game.
falls in dangerously, who has his PhD in statistics, says that Philadelphia outchanced the Oilers in that first period 5-2.
That's about right.
He's never wrong.
He's never wrong.
The Oilers will play Phoenix on Saturday, and then
Play game 2 on Saturday.
the Oilers will play
Stanley Cup
Phoenix
final.
on Saturday, and then
There
travel
are
to
4
Winnipeg.
wins left
A game
before the
against the
season
Jets on Monday,
comes to an end.
deadline day. And that game against Phoenix, incidentally, is a Saturday afternoon contest. The Phoenix Coyotes currently in Calgary to take on the Flames.
A 6 p.m. game.
2-2 in the second period. Our second period is underway. Darcy Hordichuk
Underway. And the fourth period
did not play a lot to go forward from the second period with Jody Schiller. He's out there now to start this second period with Anton Langer and Leonard Petrell. Here's Hordichuk looking for the backhand. Darcy Hordichuk looking for his first goal of the season. Nicholas goes to second goal. Wellwood lost his eye. Shots at Turier. This game steered aside by Brizgalov. Quick shift where they scored one.
To start this period, Ralph Berger wants to set the tone right away, wants to get pucks deep, get bodies back. That's exactly what the fourth line does. Goes out there, generates a couple chances. And see if the airlines can carry it over.
Oh, Hensby and Hookup out there now. As Hall goes wide. Petrie and Schmid on the blue line. Alex Hensby dancing along the line. Petrie keeps it in. He'll give it to Hensby. Hensby cross ice for Hall. One-time shot. And that one rises over top of the cage. Orkov will give it to Hall one more time. Hall moves to the middle. Lets a shot go and it slides wide. Hensby picks it up. Hensby moving in. Alex Hensby still has it, and now it's cleared down the ice by Mazzaros. And the Flyers want to get a change.
Great follow-up shift by that top line of Edmonton to go out, dangle the puck down low, create a couple chances. Alex Hemsky had that puck on a string a couple times, set up Taylor Hall for that vicious one-timer.
Here's Everly. Everly, backhand! Brizgalov spreads across and makes the save. Everly has it pop over his stick, now a 2-on-1. Simmons, Hartnell, back to Simmons, and that one goes over top of his stick. Can't blame the ice, Louis. We're just 2 minutes in.
Yeah, just almost a little bit of an unlucky bounce there is for Jeff Petrie. Loves to jump up into the rush. And a little turnover at the blue line. Everly just can't handle it, gets out. But a great rush from defense to offense. Stretch pass to Everly. Goes to the backhand. Just can't close the deal. Great job by Coburn not to take the penalty, get the stick in there deep enough to break up that play. And this one just jumps over the stick of Wayne Simmons on the 2-on-1 coming back the other way. So things starting to open up a little bit here in this second period.
Wayne Simmons with 22 goals on the season, the first time he has cracked the 20-goal barrier. And he is currently on a 3-game point streak. Ryan Whitney to Gagne. Everly getting it back to him. And there is another bouncing puck. Everly behind the net. He gets up close and stop.
Just almost a little bit.
Can't blame the ice, Louis. We're just 2 minutes in. Two over top of his stick.
2.5 minutes in.
Can't blame the ice, Louis. We're just 2 minutes in.
The top.
Yeah, and
The record.
Hartnell back to Simmons, and that one goes over top of his stick.
Here's Ryan Smith.
Can't blame the ice, Louis. We're just 2 minutes in.
Yeah, just almost a little bit of an unlucky bounce there is for Jeff Petrie. Loves to jump up into the rush. And a little turnover at the blue line. Everly just can't handle it, gets out. But a great rush from defense to offense. Stretch pass to Everly. Goes to the backhand. Just can't close the deal. Great job by
Coburn not to take the penalty, get the stick in there deep enough to break up that play. And this one just jumps over the stick of Wayne Simmons on the 2-on-1 coming back the other way. So things starting to open up a little bit here. Not to take the penalty, get the stick in there deep enough to break up that play. And this one just jumps over the stick of Wayne Simmons on the 2-on-1 coming back the other way. So things starting to open up a little bit here in this second period.
Wayne Simmons with 22 goals on the season, the first time he has cracked the 20-goal barrier. It is
from defense to little.
Can't blame the ice, Louis. We're just 2 minutes in.
And here is shot down.
Almost a little bit bounce there is for
Jeff Petrie is 2 minutes in.
Yeah, just almost a little bit of an unlucky bounce there is for Jeff Petrie. Loves to jump up into the rush and little turnover at the blue line. Everly just can't handle it, gets out, but a great rush from defense to offense. Stretch past to Everly. Goes to the backhand, just can't close the deal. Great job by Coburn not to take the penalty, get the stick in there deep enough to break up that play. And this one just jumps over the stick of Wayne Simmons on the 2-on-1 coming back the other way. So things start.
That's 5-3.
Starting to open up a little bit here.
Goal barrier. With 22 goals on the season, the first time he has cracked the 20-goal barrier. Wayne Simmons with 22 goals on the season, the first time he has cracked the 20-goal barrier. It is currently on a 3-game point streak. Ryan Whitney to Gagne. Everly getting it back to him. And there's another passing puck. Everly behind the net. He gets tripped up and a penalty coming. And the Oilers get their first opportunity for the power play.
Their third opportunity in the Stanley Cup final.
Headed to the box.
Shifts in succession, exactly what the Oilers were looking for to come out. Get 3 shifts in a row. Puck goes into the offensive zone. And the long stick of Cabina again just gets in the wrong area. Takes down Jordan Everly, keeps his feet moving. And after 3 good shifts, the Oilers draw a penalty and get their first power play of the game.
A power play that is ranked 4th in the league. It is number 3 at home. And it goes to work for the first time in this game. Great play by Hall to keep it in. With Everly, Horkoff, Gagne. Gagne, bouncing puck for Hall. The shot is gone. Hall keeps it into the point. Down low for Gagne. And looking for Everly. And the Oilers will regroup. And Louis, you talked about Voracek. Hall being watched closely there by Voracek. Everly got Horkoff back door. And Hall does a great job of keeping it in against Voracek. Now back to the point. Whitney waits. Everly's got it. Gives it to Gagne. Gagne side of the cage, trying to flip it out in front for Horkoff. Still alive. Timonen was flat. Here's Whitney's shot, races wide. Hall with a shot, he scores! It was flat. Here's Whitney's shot, races wide. Hall with a shot,
Hall with a shot for Ryan Smith. And it's a save. Here's Ryan Smith. The 19th goal in the playoffs. Smith scores! Ryan Smith ties the record with D&D of the Philadelphia Flyers. 19 goals. We're at 5-4.
Generated more chances than all the first period. This power play has been tipping all over the puck. Every loose puck, Oilers jumping on it. Here's the shot from Whitney off the wall. And Taylor Hall is making a habit of scoring goals from this area. Picks it up, gets it away quickly. Really, Brizgalov, no chance. He gets a piece of it. It goes off his body into the net. And a 1-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers.
A 5-4 lead.
Into the net. And a 1-0
came into the game, tied for 4th.
Dorian scores. And the Flyers lead at 6-4 here in the second period.
Now Jordan Eberle keeps his feet moving. And after 3 good shifts, the Oilers draw a penalty and get their first power play of the game.
A power play that is ranked 4th in the league. It is number 3 at home. And it goes to work for the
shifts. The Oilers draw a penalty and get their first power play of the game.
A power play that is ranked 4th in the league. It is number 3 at home. Eberle, Portman, back door. And Hall does a great job of keeping it in against Borchak. Now back to the point. Eberle's got it. Gets it to Gagnon. Gagnon side of the cage. Some flip it over here for Hall. Still alive. Keelan was flat. Here's Whitney shot. Whitney's right. Hall, the shot is scored. Get Taylor Hall. That doesn't has been and leaves us. Pass just a little bit too far for him. He's opening up here in the second period. 8:26, the time of the goal for Taylor Hall. Gilbert to the corner for Eager. Eager wants to relieve the pressure kept in by Kubina. Now behind the net, Indy Sutton has a chance to settle things down.
A good point. Real nice pushback there by the Flyers to come out, generate that chance. It's great from Shen on the breakaway. Terrific save by Devin Dugan. And that was an easy one. Right from the get-go, he gets sent in all alone.
He's got 8 goals on the season. Hartnell with it now. He's got Simmons out in front. The top line for the Flyers on the ice. Hartnell, Giroux, and Simmons. Carl back to pick it up. Carl averaging almost about 23 minutes a game for the Flyers. He's got 4 shots on that power play. Against Schmid. That comes straight for Gagnon. Sam Gagnon starts away by giving it to Ryan Smith. Eberle hit it to the front of the net. That's a scoop screen. And it's cleared out of danger by Kilatino. Schmid. He has got Reed all over. Reed, number 1 among rookies in goals. He's got 16 of those things.
Schmid on Hartnell and then on Reed afterwards. Here's the breakaway by Shen. Sent in all alone. Tries to go with the quick shot on
Second goal to hockey game.
Devin Dugan just holding on to his ground. Out of the playoffs. Cutting down the angle.
Philadelphia Flyers.
Quick little reaction to get down and deny Shen on the breakaway.
19th of the playoffs.
Big save.
Came in without a point in his last 3 games. Grossman. Chips that puck to Reed. He'll dump it in. Briere behind the net. He and Portman both go down. Younger carries on. Younger. Backhand attempt there by Briere. To the corner it goes. Jaromir Jagr. Reed snaps a shot and that one goes wide. Ales Hemsky picks it up. Trying to get it by Grossman. Can't do it. Nicholas Grossman throws it towards the front of the net. Ends up going up over top. But he's got it again. Steps into a slap shot this time. And it rises over the cage. He's got a boomer. This guy's, well, you talk about 6'4", 234 pounds he put behind that shot. Tell us, Pointer's hockey right here.
Ryan Smith.
In the building as he continues to recover after being hit in the head by a puck and suffering what we believe to be is a concussion. Well, the Philadelphia Flyers, James Van Riemsdyk is one of them, have suffered a total of 7 concussions this season, and that includes Claude Giroux, who missed 4 games because of it. What he's done to try and soften the blow is to try this new Bauer helmet. And the way he described it was that in the old helmet he would get hit and everything would kind of rattle inside. Well, now this new helmet is so tight that when he does get hit, there's very little movement with the head and subsequently the brain.
And Gene, the next question you have to find out about is Tom Running. When he comes back, does he have to do his famous U test, the drop-off test?
The dreaded drop-off.
It looks like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins might have to do that test. He is close to coming back into the lineup.
I was always jealous of guys like that, though. He could probably do that with His eyes closed, no problem at all.
Longe shot and saved by Brizgala.
Not making light of the test. It's a tough test.
It's a tough test.
Guys like Hopkins can ski like the wind.
Here's another 2-on-1. Voracek, backhand! Dubnyk makes the save. Devin Dubnyk has come up huge twice here in the second period. But Ralph Kruger is not going to like the fact that his team has given up 2-on-1s. Wayne Simmons cutting from the net. Simmons with a wrist shot, but this time Petrie gets his stick in the way. Mazaros looks for Simmons behind the net. He's got Giroux out in front. Can't get the puck to him, and Hemsky's got it. Hemsky outlet to Petrie. Petrie to Hall. Hall given a bump before he could get started by Mazaros. And here the Flyers come again. Simmons steps into a slap shot, and again stick in the way, and this time it's Ales Hemsky.
You can see what the Philadelphia Flyers can do and why they're...
The Flyers come again. Simmons steps into a slap shot, and again stick in the way, and this time it's Ales Hemsky.
You can see what the Philadelphia Flyers can do and why they're first in the National Hockey League in goals scored. They really attack when they have chances. This is a great move by Voracek on the 2-on-1. Goes to the backhand. Dubnyk has to regain an edge and get back across quickly to get that pad out and deny Voracek of that chance. Just off the end of the stick, but because he was there wasn't much to shoot at. That light little bit of delay by Voracek off the end of the stick, but a real quality chance created on the transition to the Philadelphia Flyers.
And Voracek is another one of those guys as the puck hits the side of the net. Yager's trying to take advantage. It comes free, and Eberle's got it. Eberle quickly with Gagne. Eberle to Gagne. Gagne out in front, it comes! And Ryan Smith couldn't get the shot away as Matt Reed had him tied up. Eberle out there with Gagne and Smith. They've got the puck again. Eberle, great shot, scores! And Smith couldn't get the shot away as Matt Reed had him tied up. Eberle out there with Gagne and Smith. They've got the puck again. Eberle, great shot, great shot! Scores!
No item in.
This was all set up by Jordan Edling, the defensive zone. Smith to get the puck out of harm's way. This little passing attempt goes down, and for Jordan Edling just stays in the hunt for the puck, gets back, and you give him a shot in the high slot 25 feet away. That razor-sharp accuracy puts it through Ilya Brizgalov, who gets a big piece of this one, but not enough as it dribbles through. Jordan Eberle stays red-hot goal and assist in the second period, gives his team the 2-0 lead.
27 goals on the season for Jordan Eberle.
Nothing through Ilya Brizgalov, who gets a big piece of this one, but not enough as it dribbles through. Jordan Eberle stays red-hot goal and assist in the second period, gives his team the 2-0 lead.
27 goals on the season for Jordan Eberle. His 18th goal at home. And the Oilers have a 2-0 lead. And 16 shots. Unassisted marker for Jordan Eberle. And he 0-4. The Philadelphia Flyers, the team that has the most goals in the National Hockey League. They have the #1 offense. But right now, a combination of the young guns for the Oilers and that guy, Devin Dubnyk, has been the story. Is over. Right up the middle for Magnus Bjarne. Bjarne checked by Carl, carrying on his Lander. Lander, the pass, and that was broken up by Pavel Zadina. Tried to get it to Eager. Eager, Bjarne. With the puck now, Bjarne spins against Carl, gets it from Eager. He is cut off, and is picked up there by Schmidt. Silly drops it down the ice. Ryan Whitney takes a look over his shoulder. He's got from Voracek all over. Outlet pass intended for Eager, didn't look. Eager and Bjarne. Here's Schmidt. Just right behind it. Eager waiting for it there, about to Great. Remember, the Flyers had 55 in their last game in Winnipeg. Simmons has had some good opportunities. He loses the puck, and here comes Hemsky. Ales Hemsky stops. There's a shot. A rebound for Horcoff. Stopped by Rizgala. Now Petrie falling. Trying to keep it in. What a job by Jeff Petrie. And he's not out there against the fourth line. Here comes Hemsky. Dangling. Hemsky. Trying to get it back to Horcoff. Hart to Giroux. Giroux looking for Simmons. Gets the puck back again. Now tries to feed it in front. Simmons. To the middle it goes. Kabina. Pavel Kabina. Watch the handle. Now Simmons on the pickpocket play and Ladislav Schmid. Hartnell's centering pass went off Horcoff. John Horcoff will get it to Ales Hemsky. Looking for Hall. And it was broken up at the last second there by Carl. Great action here at Rexall Place.
Rexall Place.
Great action here at Rexall
May
Place.
31st.
Jeff Petrie.
May 31st. 25 years
From his
Stanley Cup
made
championship.
some great defensive play.
6'5" Flyers.
Well, Tuesday, while Wayne Simmons was scoring in Winnipeg, Sam Gagner was scoring in Calgary, and they've just continued the trend that has been a result of what's been a great month for both of these young kids. Gagner with 9 goals, 9 assists. Wayne Simmons, 9 goals, 3 assists. And, of course, let's not forget Louis Jordan Everly just bumped himself up to 8 goals in this month.
Yeah, and 18 points in the month of February for Sam Gagner. Who can forget the 4-goal, 8-point night back on February 2nd versus Chicago Blackhawks. But he's continued that hot hand into this game tonight. And getting it done.
He's got the list of February at 31 days.
Or 60.
9 minutes to go here in the second period. The Oilers with 2 goals.
The Edmonton Oilers celebrating 25 years of the Stanley Cup
Trying to get it by
But sure is exciting to watch.
Reed trying to get it by Potter. Can't do it. Now he'll give it to Carl. He gives it to Gabino. Whips it around the boards and all the way down the ice. No icing. Ryan Smith's going to go back and get it. 19-17, the shots favor the Oilers. They were outshot 14-9 in that first period. Up the middle for Pare. He is checked. Ryan Smith carries on. Dumps it into the corner. Rizgala takes it away from Belanger. And Beasley tries to use the glass to get it by Ben Eagle. And bounces to Latino. Winding up is Voracek. Voracek checked by Belanger. Shin. Shoots the puck in. Devin Dubin. Down to Tom Gilbert. To Pare. He gets knocked down there by Mazaros. But carrying on is Belanger. Chris Crossley with Eager. Here's Ben Eager's shot. Rizgala makes the save. Ben Eager with a great burst of speed. Set up by Eric Belanger. Voracek given a puck by Sutton. And Riemsdyk behind the net. He gets checked by Belanger. Voracek looking for Shen. That's intercepted by Sutton. He ties that up. Shen worked it loose. And Riemsdyk sends it around the near side. Grossman's got it. Grossman. And Riemsdyk away. From the corner,
the 20-goal mark of the Stanley Cup
puts it
playoffs.
to the middle. There is Magnus Pare to pick it off. Pare. As the Oilers make changes, crosses the blue line. He is checked. Back the other way. Here comes Wayne Simmons. He has been dangerous in this period. Shen behind the net. Hartnell looking for it. He has been dangerous in this period. Shen, quick shot. Goodnick makes the save. The rebound battled up there by Jeff Petrie. Horcoff looking for Hemsky. Ales Hemsky against that Carl. Carl sends it around the boards. Hall intercepts Hall. Trying to get it to Horcoff. It was picked off by Simmons. And here is Giroux. Giroux put it off the skate of Jeff Petrie. Schmid and Petrie against the top line for the Philadelphia Flyers. And one of the best lines in the NHL when it comes to production.
On 41 points.
Late offside. Schmid will give it to Hall. Hall with some speed. Trying to get across the blue line. He lost it. Simmons chips it in. Jody Shelley going after it against Petrie. Now Schmid. Kept in by Coburn. Not quite.
Peter had another terrific and create that opportunity.
2-0 here at Rexall.
Puck up to Belanger.
and create that opportunity.
2-0 here in Red Zone. And not for the 25 years of the Cup championship. The Stanley Cup Finals. Oilers hockey hooks on the net.
No item. On trade deadline day, Sportsnet.ca is the place for all. You can interact.
5:37 to go here in the second period. The Oilers with 20 shots and a 2-0 lead.
25 minutes left.
Ayer's shot.
It's
all the way
25
through.
year celebration.
The Flyers will have to regroup, and it's Grossman.
Flyers want to
Over the air.
The Stanley
Out there with Yager and Lee.
Game one. The Stanley Cup.
Brought in offside.
Years with 58 time. Is once again as he's returned. He has been Oilers, excluding Ryan Smith.
Ability. I guess that's what you got to do. Hey Lou. Gotta get in.
Finals with the first hands.
And here it is. The puck now. Sharp angle shot.
Center offside. 25 minutes left to go. And now some Oilers fans bringing in the second cup. The Edmonton Oilers, 25 years and 25 minutes left to go. Game one of this 25th anniversary celebration. Ryan Smith, his 11th season. The playoff berth of the 1987 Stanley Cup. 30 seconds to go. Listen to this. And that 25th birthday of the Stanley Cup. Of the Stanley Cup champions, your Edmonton Oilers. Ladies and gentlemen, Oilers fans and hockey fans, to celebrate 25 years with 25 minutes left in the game, we have some special guests. These are Edmonton Oilers, 5 Stanley Cups for the Oilers and the Rangers. Number 61, Glenn Anderson.
Rexall! And it's already 25 years of his great year in 2012. The Stanley Cup year, and this has been a pleasure for the Oilers. Yeah, thanks for winning the Stanley Cup. This is my cup. I'm 51 years old. At 26, and the Stanley Cup champion. And he was the Stanley Cup finalist and then only 2006 Fernando Passani.
volume. 23 keyboard.
Oil victory. This has been 25 years of this matchup. That was a great Edmonton Oilers game. What a matchup for the Edmonton Oilers. It's been like 6 years. One of those chance to do in the Stanley Cup. And it was really the Oilers celebrate 25. Happy 25 Stanley Cup champion, Edmonton Oilers.
Ninety volume.
Considered one of the greatest hockey players for 30 years. He is on the Oilers. At age 51, he will do it right. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest hockey player of all, and Edmonton Oilers, number 89, Wayne Gretzky. It's been 25 years. Thanks so much for your championship. Everyone's going to play the first step in the finals of 1985. Again, they were the biggest championship. The hardest team in sports. And with all sports, like baseball, World Series. And thanks so much for the 25 years of Stanley Cup. And to celebrate, we had some biggest Stanley Cup victories. This one's for you. Oilers got 25 minutes left to play with the game one of the Stanley Cup final. Marks Game 7 of my Stanley Cup. Here's to the next 25 years. Next 25. We'll see us in 24/7. Game 25 for the Edmonton Oilers, 1987 Stanley Cup champion. Time for the Stanley Cup champions. It's time to go. Oilers, 1987 Cup champions. The Edmonton Oilers have a big run in 1987. 7 games in the Stanley Cup final. I want to congratulate Wayne Gretzky, Paul Coffey, Glenn Anderson, Fernando Passani, and Ryan Smith. This has been a journey for us. Oh, stay safe. For the Edmonton Oilers play the next 25 years of the Stanley Cup. This is the Stanley Cup final on Sports.
2-0 here at Rexall Place. 6-5. Tiger and Reed.
Hockey Central trade deadline. Be informed, watch it live, and interact. Only on Sportsnet.ca.
5:37 to go. Here
You're not shooting in the second period. 25 minutes. And he is left to go in this 25th anniversary game.
Brooks, that gives the Army the puck. 40 years old, I guess that's what you got to do. Hey, Lou. That gives the Army the puck now. Sharp angle shot. Went off Grossman. Came right to Whitney. Whitney for Eager. And that great chance earlier, set up by the guy that has the puck now, Eric Maloney. Maloney on the 20. On the near side it comes, as Grossman takes it up to Eager as he gets the puck down the ice. Mike Whitney going back together. That's going to be another icing call. More Yager tails.
For Yager.
Well,
You know what, Kevin, just playing off your terms about him having the opportunity to work out whenever he wants. Yesterday, the Flyers practice, and many of the players were off the ice for probably 20 to 30 minutes before Jaromir Jagr came off the ice. And he, to Philadelphia, is kind of like what Ryan Smith is to Edmonton. One of the older players, Smith is the oldest forward, but continues to play the game and act like he's still a young man.
Going wide, sharp angle shot right through the crease. Everly was tied up by Mazzaros. Back the other way come the Flyers. Mazzaros long shot. Devin Dubnyk handles that easily, and he'll hang on to it.
The red basket, good job to keep that shot to the angle on the outside. Mazzaros had enough in the defensive zone. He iced the puck the first time, but decides to get it up the ice himself and get the face-off in the offensive zone. Great move here by Gagne. Watch him go inside, outside, the little hop to get over the stick, and he puts this right through the crease. On a good face-off in the offensive zone. Great move here by Gagne. Watch him go inside, outside, the little hop to get over the stick, and he puts this right through the crease. A good opportunity created that skill.
Sam Gagne, 19 points in his last 10 games. And now an issue with the glass. And, well, we've got Jaromir Jagr, 662 goals. Louis, now we've got time to talk about your goals.
David, just a few less.
In Winnipeg on Monday, the last time the Oilers played in Winnipeg, you were part of that Oilers team.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it'll be exciting for the Oilers to go in for the first time back into Winnipeg. It's always going to be a heated crowd in there. There was a rivalry between Winnipeg and Edmonton when they were in the same division back in the day, so I'm sure it will eventually work itself out to be that again. But, yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be an amazing atmosphere going back there. I heard they've been pretty loud in the building.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Quaker Chewy Bar.
4:19, Gene to go here in the second period. The Oilers with all the offense. They've got the third line of Peter Laviolette. Scott Hartnett's 23 goals.
25 years.
He leads the team years 24 years.
For Oilers organist.
Coburn touched the puck and Hall is
Another man-to-man.
And will come back down into Oiler territory.
And he's pretty darn positive that he touched this one first. Great job by him to get in quickly. He definitely touches that one first and ships it around to beat Coburn to the puck. I don't know how the referee missed this one, or linesman for that matter, but it was behind the net from that angle. So, what a tough one there. Good job by Hall to get on the horse, get down there and beat him, but didn't get rewarded for it.
Now Hartnell will line up against Sean Horkoff. As Giroux got tossed out of the circle, Hartnell wins the draw.
Stanley Cup final.
Giroux turns, lets the shot go, and there's Devin Dubnyk to make the save, and he'll hang on.
The Flyers are starting to do what they did at the beginning of the first period.
Nope. Everly, one-on-one now against Kimmo Timonen. Everly stops up, lets the shot go, and off Timonen. Carrying on is Ryan Smith. Now bouncing puck is picked up by Van Riemsdyk. He'll give it to Talbot. Talbot snaps the shot. It goes off Gilbert. Andy Sutton lays it around the boards, but there is Coburn. Backhand by Talbot goes wide. Ryan Smith drops it for Gagne. Sam Gagne takes a look, trying to get it back to Smith, and there is Brizgala, very aggressive. Went out and cut off that pass. Now Wellwood. Eric Wellwood tries to move the puck to the middle. And there was Ryan Whitney to take down Van Riemsdyk. Horkoff flips it in. Hemsky going after it against Carl. Carl gets there first. Gets it by Hall. Can't get it by Potter. Potter, snapshot. Up high on Brizgala. Looking on the shoulder. Hemsky with it now. Ales Hemsky plays it back to the point. Corey Potter with a wrist shot this time. Horkoff cuts it off. Kern and the shot went wide. Hemsky aggressive to try and keep it in against Carl. Hemsky, Horcoff, and Hall with some chemistry in those last couple of games. Here is Hemsky keeping it in. Horcoff waits for it behind the net. Horcoff works it back to Potter, but it was cut off there by Hartnell. And then Potter knocked down Hartnell, and he might have to pay the price for it because Simmons and Hartnell were going after him while play continued. Now Dubnyk comes out to cut it off of Scott Hartnell. Can't get it by Simmons, though. Wayne Simmons. Potter breaks that up. Mazzaros can't keep it in. A race for it. Payardi against Grossman. And Grossman snapped the stick of Payardi in half. Play continues. It continues. Wide open here with under 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Trying to center it. Can't do it. Magnus Payardi's got a new cue. He'll start away. Once again against Grossman. There is Hartnell taking a run at Payardi, and Payardi's hurt. Scott Hartnell's going to go to the penalty box, and the concern is right now for Magnus Payardi. Scott Hartnell's going to go to the penalty box, and the concern is right now for Magnus Payardi. A knee-on-knee, and Hartnell was upset.
Look for a 6-6 time.
And he really stuck it out there. Darcy Woodchuck having some words. And this all stemmed from the hit from Potter, like you said, Kevin. And Hartnell got up. He was angry, went after Potter. Didn't engage when he came down at the last second. Going to the bench, he takes a vicious run at PRV. And he doesn't look good. Right away was down. He stayed down. I can't believe this is only a 2-minute penalty, actually, as he goes right into the knee. And I mean, these are the hits that you don't like to see when you go knee on knee from a different angle. We'll have to see whether or not he sticks that knee out or else just catches him coming through. It looks like his foot was planted, but definite knee on knee contact with the PRV.
Penalty shot. Oh. Where is it? Backdoor score!
Thank you. Awesome.
Sean Eberle ties the game.
And he was planted, but definite knee-on-knee contact with PRV. And he was in a lot of pain going down the tunnel.
Hayes comes with 1:36 to go.
He was in a lot of pain going down the tunnel.
By Jordan Eberle at 18:02.
Hayes comes with 2 minutes for
As he catches Hart.
This is why Hartnell was upset.
And this is the pitch down by Potter as he catches Hartnell coming up the ice. And after that, it was Call, Cabina, Simmons, Hartnell all take a run at Potter. And he's like, I'm going to jump into the play. And on the ensuing play going down after this play is broken up is when Hartnell going to the bench. Has PRV in the sights and catches him with a knee.
Now this is one of those power plays. And you want to connect on for
Plays up PRV and give a guy a knee penalty. And the guy's going down the tunnel injured. It's only 2 minutes. I don't get it. I'm not saying he stuck his leg. I couldn't really tell from the angle. But if it was a knee, then if they're saying it was, they're not just...
Play. 1-for-1. Here is a pass from Eberle looking. And Lebanon come together. It comes back to Whitney. Sticks in. He gets knocked down by Calvin. Horcoff and Lebanon come together. It comes back to Whitney. Sticks in a slap shot. Just rolls off the post. Back to Whitney again. Whitney. Slap pass for Eberle. Eberle. Quick shot by Gagne. Put it over top of the cage. Whitney racing over to keep it in. 42 seconds to go in the period. Taylor Hall is back now. Hall with a wrist shot, and that was blocked before he get through. And that hurt Andre Mazzaros, or Kimo Timonen. Eberle with it again, back to the point. Ryan Whitney moves to the middle. He'll give it right back to number 14, Eberle. Gagne looking for Horcoff. Bouncing puck. Here's Eberle's chance. They did it again. He's still alive, and now the whistle goes. Talbot ended up on top of Gagne, took his helmet off. Here's Eberle's chance. Eberle. Gagne looking for Gagne. Bouncing puck. Here's Eberle's chance. They still win for a goal. He scores. Talbot.
The second period turned into a high-scoring second period.
Ended up on top of Gagne. Took it.
It's like the elbow slam from the top. He is loose underneath that mishmash and pile. There's the whistle there.
And eventually you see Talbot come flying over with the flying elbow. The whistle there. And eventually you see Talbot come flying over with the flying elbow. The better heads prevail afterwards, but nice to see the attack of the Oilers again. The power play digging for those loose pucks, and the Philadelphia Flyers, a team that's not going to be pushed around, is pushing back in those tight quarters, but Philly Rizgalov has to stand his ground. Must have been 8 bodies on the ice there.
Wow. Face-off just outside the blue line with 19.7 seconds to go. And still 42 seconds of power play time for the Oilers.
Must have been 8 bodies on the ice there.
Face-off just outside the blue line with 19.7 seconds to go. And still 42 seconds of power play time for the Oilers. Hensky, Smith, Belarus with Potter and Peaches. The Oilers will have the third period start with a power play. They have 23 seconds of power play time. Trade tracker will come up right after the break. It's Telus Oilers hockey here on Sportsnet from Rexall Place. It's Telus Oilers hockey here on Sportsnet from Rexall Place. Stanley Cup.
Sportsnet is the place to be for Friday Night Hockey. It features the Western Hockey League tomorrow night as the Kootenay Ice visit the Eastern Division second-place team, the Saskatoon Blades. Catch the action on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet West at 6 p.m. Mountain, and that is tomorrow. Meanwhile, on Saturday, Telus Oilers Hockey is back with an afternoon matinee as Edmonton hosts the Phoenix Coyotes, starting with our pregame show at 1:30 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet West. Well, Scott Hartnell is one of the best power forwards, I think, in the National Hockey League, but that's not it.
Went down.
Sure, Phillies landed some blows, but the Oilers are giving them back just as good. This is a tougher, harder to play against Oilers team. They got a couple of guys that'll drop the mitts like that, and you just can't come into Rexall Place anymore and push the Oilers around. Philadelphia's finding that out tonight.
Well, you know what? It's only so far through 2 periods, Mark. 18 penalty minutes on the part of these two teams. I have a feeling there may be a few more coming up in the third period of play. Let's join Louis and Kevin for period number 3.
All right, guys, in this third period, we'll start with the Oilers on the power play for the next 23 seconds because of that knee penalty that Scott Hartnell took.
Cup championship.
And Magnus PRV went down the tunnel, and we'll try and get an update on his condition as soon as possible. But the Oilers are down a forward. And the Oilers 1 for 1 with the man advantage. They now have 46 power play goals on the year. They came in third in the league in power play goals. The third best power play at home. Hartnell's out of the penalty box. Teams at even strength. Jordan Emerson has one of the 2 Oiler goals in the year. And Tanner Hall getting goals in that second period. Ryan Whitney to Ryan Smith. Smith waits, throws it toward the net. That hit Gagne. He was tied up there by Pavel Kabina. Now back the other way. Here comes Hartnell. Neil Furyk from the Rexall faithful here. Simmons to Hartnell. Shot! Devin Dubnyk. The first big save of this period. Simmons has got it again. Steps into a slap shot. This time it's blocked by Corey Potter. Giroux in the corner. Whistles it out front, looking for Hartnell. Broken up by Potter. Kept in, though, by the Flyers. Hartnell centering pass. Giroux's got it. Pushes it towards the net. There is Simmons. Another crack at it. Dubnyk stands his ground. The puck's underneath him. Hartnell poking at it, but he gets the whistle. Let's take a look. Just 20 starts the game.
No item in
Flyers fan somewhere that's wondering where that came from.
Alex Hensky, Taylor Hall, and a good defensive play there by Timo Timonen. Gilbert behind the net. Horkoff. Back up 3 for Whitney. They'll play it around the boards. Tom Gilbert on the other side keeps it in, avoids the big hit. Hensky behind the net, comes right out in front. And another good defensive play as Hall was looking for it, but Timonen was there again. Reed. He is stopped before he could get the puck in. Has it again. Jaromir Jagr trying to help out against Tom Gilbert. Briere whips it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Grossman. Grossman snaps the shot, and that one doesn't make it through. blocked by Hall this time. Horkoff knocks down Mazzaros. Mazzaros with the puck down. Here's a wrist shot up high on Devin Dubnyk. Jagger with that long reach. Again, stopped by Dubnyk. Briere thought about the wraparound. Forgot to take the puck with him. Flip down into Flyer territory. That will allow the Oilers to change. And they'll get the Belanger line out there.
Devin Dubnyk had to be really aggressive on Jaromir Jagr on the side of the doorstep there after that first shot. The rebound right to Jagr, held him for a second. And Dubnyk with another great save.
Good speed there by Voracek. He is stopped. Schenn with the puck now. Turn, throws it towards the net. Stick save by Dubnyk. Voracek going after Schmid. Schmid gets the puck to the point, no further. Now on the near side, an opportunity for Ben Eager. Plays it off the boards. Taken it by Kubina. Eager, Belanger, joined by Petrell. Eager will bring it in himself. Gets taken out and then throws down Matt Carl. Kubina runs into Belanger. Here's Voracek. Nice little bump. Trying to get the puck over to Van Riemsdyk. That line is going to change. Simmons on the ice now. Carl. Right up the middle for Simmons. Scramble. And it's Eberle who strikes back quickly. He and Gagne crisscross. Here's Smith. Steps into a shot. Brizgalov steers that aside. Giroux. To Simmons. Wayne Simmons stops up inside the blue line. Pass intercepted. Smith finds Gagne near side. Here's Gagne against Timo Timonen. Carl, one-hand pass to Simmons. Wayne Simmons gets inside the blue line. He will dump it in. Dubnyk stops it, takes a look, and then lost it. Almost intercepted by the most dangerous player for the Philadelphia Flyers, and that's Claude Giroux. Kemsky gets knocked down by Mazzaros. Jagr. He finds Mazzaros.
Here's the stand-up, the string for him. And now he's starting to become a little bit more of a target. They're keen on him.
He's out there now with Horkoff and Hall. Alashevsky. Drop pass for Hall that was broken up by Mazzaros. Mazzaros, another cross-check on Hemsky. Pass for Briere, bounces right to Dubnyk, and he will hang on to it.
When the Columbus
opponent will face another Eastern Conference opponent in the Winnipeg Jets on Monday. So it's kind of strange to say that they're in the East, but for now. Five minutes gone in this third period. Tom Gilbert takes a hit from Schenn. Back the other way. Voracek, snapshot. Dubnyk the save, and then it got by. Van Riemsdyk was looking for it.
Stick in the face, too.
Voracek for Schenn in front. And Riemsdyk back to Kubina. Quick shot. Now Devin Dubnyk's got it.
And then the grill doesn't definitely come forward. Check for
the Broad Street Bullies. Ryan Smith. Pass intercepted by Jagr. The Flyers will have to regroup. Coburn will fire that puck in. Dubnyk stops it up for Potter. Potter and Whitney on the blue line. Gagne, Smith, and Eberle up front. Reed keeps it in. Potter. Behind the net it goes. There is Jaromir Jagr. Jagr hanging onto it against Gagne. Jagr now battles with Potter. Briere sends it around the near side. Coburn keeping it in against Ryan Smith. Now far side, a chance for Eberle to get it out, and he will. The Flyers, the third best road team in the National Hockey League, with 19 wins coming into this one. Hall with the puck against Grossman, and Grossman takes down Taylor Hall, and play continues. Wayne Simmons.
prison rules.
Here's Giroux.
Put the whistles away.
Giroux gets knocked down by Schmid. Pass intercepted by Petrie, but picked up there behind the net by Simmons. Now Giroux for Simmons. Hartnell is behind the net. Now he'll come to the corner. Scott Hartnell centering pass is picked off there by Schmid. Now Schmid will play it and gets deflected up into the net. Nicholas Grossman,
the Stanley Cup final
with Taylor Hall,
20th anniversary edition.
Takes it on
shopping homeowners.
Just over 13 minutes to go here in regulation time. The Oilers with a 2-0 lead, all the offense in the second period. And they shut down a team that has scored 197 goals so far this season. Grossman, Belanger, Lander, and Petrell. Schilling trying to get it in against Gilbert. Gilbert stops it up. But carrying on is Talbot. Talbot sticks into a shot from a sharp angle. Quick rebound. Kick goes by Kevin Dubnik. Back to the point it goes. Here's Grossman's shot. That one whistles wide. Grossman can handle the puck. Petrell gets it down the ice. That allows the Oilers to make a change. And they'll get all Volkov and Hensky up there now. Khabib. Voracek. Stopped by Volkov. Moving in against Potter. Voracek, the forward line for the Philadelphia Flyers. Comes over that. Kyle with the puck here. See Potter trying to find Hall. Voracek, near side, looks for Hall. He gets knocked out. Aquilino's lost his stick. Voracek. Shot back to the middle to Shen. Brayden Shen moving in with Ben Riemsdyk. Shen. The Voracek broken up by Volkov. As for Hall didn't work, they want to change up anyway. They'll send out Eberle, Smith, and Gagne. Timo Timonen. And deep. Back comes to the near side. It's going to be Sam Gagne. Gagne plays it off the wall, trying to get it by. For the error, he does. Smith picked up by Coburn. Here's Yager. Coburn. Finds Young. Tries to muscle his way by Eberle. Does get the pass to Briere. Briere goes cross ice for Reed. His shot deflected by Peasley and ends up going into the net.
Tonight, safely $1 million.
Coyotes sent one. They'll cover it up, and now a little push. Off his seat a little while longer. At this point, South is leading the way in town. It doesn't happen that often. To Ryan Smith. Smith moving in against Matt Carl. Carl pins it against the boards. The puck comes free. Tyler Cabina gives it right back to Carl. Smith and Belanger up front. And there's Petrie and Gilbert on the point. Cabina to Young. Young. Collapsed there by Ryan Smith. They'll give it to Cabina. Cabina. To Briere. Briere crisscrossing with Young. Down there Young. Going wide on puck. It's by Coburn. A race for it. Belanger's got a 2-on-1 development with Smith. Belanger with the puck hook. Finds the trailer. Potter. Potter to Smith. Smith to Potter. Quick save by this. Hook. Finds the trailer. Potter. Potter to Smith. Smith to Potter.
What a save by Andy Newling!
Smith finally wrap around. Younger back the other way. The net is off the boards. What a great sequence here at Rexall. 31 seconds. The Smith celebrates 25 years
of the Stanley Cup championship between these two teams.
Rexall.
The third Stanley Cup goes to the Edmonton Oilers.
Ryan Smith.
Let's see if the Oilers get the cup and bring it home back to Canada.
Was Corey Potter. Ryan Smith. The Potter. 31 shots the way of Kevin Dubnik. It's been outstanding. 31 seconds left to 4-on-4. Eberle and Gagne are up front, and Gagne wins that play. They won it too clean.
by him, but the goaltenders have both been solid.
With the punt. Off the boards for Henson. Quickly to Hall. Taylor Hall right up the middle against Tobin. Knocked off the puck by Braden Tobin. Picked up there by Timo Timonen. Timonen will give it to Tobin. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. Latrell dumps it in. He gets there first, avoids the hit. Mazaros plays it around the boards, trying to get it by Anton Lander. Latrell, here is a firing quick. And it's stopped by Vizgala. Briere. Painted by Schmid. Spalonzo. Outlets this center. Grossman brings it right back in. And here's Grossman against Latrell. I'll take the play. Bounce it down the ice. They want to change it. Everly Gagne and Smith up there.
That's a real solid shift for Mark Latrell to take the forecheck using his size and back check again. Taking out Grossman, allowing one of his players to come and get that puck out of the zone.
Jim did not get all that shot. Voracek trying to wrap around. Stopped by Tom Gilbert. Jim gets squeezed off the back there by Gilbert. Voracek at center. Van Riemsdyk gives it right back to him. Shen headed to the front of the net. Here is Shen with a shot. He hit the side of the cage. Van Riemsdyk back to the point he goes. Carl fires it near the corner. Allows Andy Sutton to pick it up. Sutton plays it off the boards to Everly. Everly back to Sutton. And they irons that up down the ice. And again, the Oilers get a change. They've got the Horcock line up there now. And Pavel Kabina. It's no further than center. Horcock reaching for it. In with Hall. And just offside. Gene, an update. In. Turning his Horcock on the side. And look at him behind the play. Hensky shot up. Tobin and Hall. In behind the net. Play continues. Timo Timonen.
Practice third period in Stanley Cup final history.
5:30 to go in regulation time. Timo Timonen. 5:30 to go in regulation time.
In a 7-6 Oilers lead. It could be also in the Cup championship.
It's for Henson. Henson into the ship. And the Flyers had a lot of guys on the ice as they entered a very slow shift.
I think Hensky did on purpose. He saw there was too many, just decided to throw it at the guy stepping to the bench, but it didn't work.
Long pass intended for Talbot doesn't work. Cutter will get to it. Talbot gives him a buck. The puck comes to Belanger, and Belanger will send it down the ice. Eager racing after it against Mazaros. Yager to Grossman. He's got Talbot with him. Talbot given a buck there by Potter. Witt brings it around the boards. Intercepted by Yager, but it comes right to Eager. Then Eager will play it back to Whitten. Whitten will get it to Belanger. Now to Potter. Ryan Smith going up the middle. Eager moving in against Carl. Back the other way. The Flyers come. Voracek fires a shot. Gilbert got a piece of that. Gagne was back defensively. Gives it to Smith. And Smith kicks it out to center. Ryan Smith sent unceremoniously to the ice.
And got that moving late too. And the Rams here at Rexall Place wanted the penalty for interference on that one, but I don't know if there's going to be many calls like that late in this game where these two teams have gone at it.
Everly and Gagne now. Everly chips it in and takes a hit from Shen. Fabina tries to tie up Sam Gagne. Lisa sends it around the board. Waiting for it there is Voracek. Gilbert. He and Van Riemsdyk both go down. Sutton will pick it up. He's got time. Andy Sutton. Everly. The end of the shift gives it to Hall. Hall. Dropped it for Horcock. Hensky there to take it away from Scott Hartman. Here's Simmons. Brings it in. Simmons. Hartman gets checked and penalty on the way. And it's going to be a slashing penalty with 3. Beverly. Generating 7 shots with the advantage. Ryan Smith without his helmet. Out there with Sean Horcock, Jeff Petrie, and Ladislav Smee.
Old school.
Voracek joins that forward line. And they've got Timo Timonen on the blue line. Giroux spinning to try and get away from Jeff Petrie. Ryan Smith backhands it out, gets it by Timo Timonen. Now the race. Here comes Horcock, short-handed. John Horcock on his hook. Short-handed! Rich Della makes the save. 2 minutes in the third. 2 minutes from the 4 in this 25th anniversary.
Now the penalty shot, Timonen digging a little too deep on shot. All the way to the back end, Horcock.
Well, he's going to have to retreat. Horcock wins the draw, but the Flyers get control. Brizgalov is headed to the bench. 6 attackers on 4 now for Philadelphia. A minute of power play time remaining. 2.5 minutes to go in regulation. Giroux.
No item.
Contract. He gets the shot. The corner century. And Devin Goodman holds his ground and gets the whistle. As Braden Shen was in there whacking away.
Devin Goodman is rock solid in this game. And a great move by Giroux at the blue line to hold on to this one for a second. Smee tries to get the stick into the shooting lane, but he gets it down into the jungle. And 4 Philadelphia Flyers whacking away. Devin Goodman keeps an eye on this. Almost gets pushed to the net himself. But because of all that action in front, sticks flailing, bodies flying, it gets whistled down just as it comes loose and gets jammed in. But anytime you start to see the goaltender get pushed back like that, they're going to whistle it down immediately. That's exactly what they do.
Opening for the Oilers on this penalty kill. They can fire to the open net and not worry about it. Briere wins that draw back to Giroux. Giroux the lead behind the net for Briere. Sends it around the boards. Reed keeps it in the far side. He'll give it to Giroux. Giroux throws it.
No item in play, keep on short.
Opportunity at the blue line.
No item in play, keep on short.
15 seconds left to go in the penalty to Taylor Hall. A race for it. Parton behind the net for Briere. And leaves that. To the point it goes. Matt Reed will give it to Giroux. Giroux down low. Quick shot by Voracek. Stopped by Smee. Hall's out of the penalty box. A minute 28 to go. The net empty for the Flyers. Giroux back in his own zone. Hall stays under. Giroux. Patriots forward. He's back. He gives it to Hall. Quick shot.
25 years. 40 seconds left to go.
A minute 10 to go. And it's a trail. Chopping it out. For Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall going after it against Reed. Reed's got the angle. Less than a minute to go now. The Flyer net remains empty. Giroux flips it in. Goes after it himself. Gilbert on the board. Trying to get it by Max Talbot. Simmons on the far side. Against Everly. Everly gets it to Whitney. Whitney is back to the 10 for Daniel. Daniel gets knocked down.
No item in. No item in.
25 seconds left to go in the third.
YouTube video. No item.
15 seconds left to go. Here is Sean Horcock from the bench, and another save. The Edmonton Oilers will celebrate the 25 years of the Stanley
90 volume.
Cup champions. 1987 to now 2012.
yes. Maybe we will. We send it to Oilers. For 60 minutes, everybody on for the 7-6 victory in Game 1. 3 wins away from heading to be Stanley Cup champions. 1 game tonight.
Just a great hard-fought battle for 60 minutes with everybody on board. That's exactly what Ralph Krueger talked about. Anniversary. All 4 lines, 6 defensemen, 25 games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Devin Dubnyk with a terrific performance tonight, 35 saves. Gets the shutout and closes the door on the Philadelphia Flyers, keeping the game.
And the 7-6 win. Sean Horkoff, the first goal in the game into the Lions Smith. Ties the record at the review of the Philadelphia Flyers.
This team is the top goal-scoring team in the National Hockey League, and the Edmonton Oilers pull out the 2-0 victory.
It's deja vu all over again.
The Hockey League, 24 Oilers team that came into this game as the top goal-scoring team in the National Hockey League, and the Edmonton Oilers pull out the 2-0 victory.
It's deja vu all over again. The
Deja vu all over again.
Here, February
7-6 victory. 25 years. Happy birthday, Stanley Cup champion, Edmonton Oilers.
The Oilers won that game.
Won that game 7-6 into the next on Saturday.
The Oilers won that game. The Flyers were here February 3rd, 2008.